Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and if you're a first time here, welcome. So in today's video I will be talking to you about how I basically empowered myself to have amazing births and the process I went through, as well as how that eventually led to me now being in the process of becoming a certified HypnoBirthing Childbirth Educator. So let's dive right in. Okay, so how did it all start? Where does it even start? Basically, my birth stories or my baby's birth stories start before I even got pregnant. When my husband and I were chatting about starting a family, fun fact, this was even before we got married, but I started being very intentional about wanting to have a positive birth story. I had heard lots of women who went the natural route, wanted to go the natural route, had a doctor who they thought was really supportive of their, decision, or even a doctor who from the get-go said, I've booked your C-section date, and they ended up not having the birth of their dreams, or not even the birth of their dreams. They just had these traumatizing birth stories, and as a woman who wanted to have a natural birth and who wanted to have a super supported, super empowered birth story, I decided that, if I'm going to have the story I want when it comes to my children's births, I need to prepare. I need to make sure that I put in the work beforehand, in the sense that I do my research and make sure that I know as much as possible. So where did that all start? Well, first of all, I decided I wasn't going to go with a typical gynae, because I felt that a lot of women had been let down by their gynaes. I'm not saying all gynaes are bad. Please don't take this as what I'm saying at all. You have amazing gynaes out there, and I know of women who have had amazing gynaes who supported their natural birth decisions all the way through, and that is great. It's so important to choose the right service provider for you. So I knew for myself that I didn't want to go with a gynae, because I felt like I would be bullied into making decisions that I wasn't 100% comfortable with, and as a result I decided to go with midwife-led care. And that also came with this decision to maybe have a home birth. I was like, maybe I'll be more comfortable at being at home. I honestly, it's so crazy to think about it right now, but I hate hospitals. I decided I don't want to give birth in a hospital because I don't like how it smells. My brother was in hospital a lot growing up. I didn't like the fact that the memories that came with me going to a hospital. There's quite a few different family members who went to hospital, and it's really sad. It was really sad for me, and I decided that I wasn't going to do that for myself, and I decided I wanted to do a home birth. Obviously in South Africa at the time, this was in 2017, in South Africa at the time, there weren't a lot of people doing home births. It's 2020 now, coronavirus has hit, home births have become a thing. Like, people were like, okay, if I can't go to hospital, have my baby with my husband, I'm out, catch me at home, So now home births aren't that weird, but in 2017 it was really rare to hear of someone having a home birth in South Africa. So that led to me going and looking for podcasts. And it's funny because I was listening to these different home birth podcasts like the whole day when I was at work, which was really interesting because I wasn't even pregnant yet, we just had the intention of starting a family. So yeah, I remember listening to all these stories, and a lot of them were very positive stories. There were some that were a bit sad, but then I came across different podcasts as well. The one podcast I must attribute a lot of what I decided on eventually to is the Fear-Free Childbirth podcast, which I didn't realize having childbirth fear was a thing. It's called tocophobia. And basically it's when you are terrified of giving birth for various reasons, multiple reasons. So I didn't realize that was a thing because it wasn't what I had. But anyway, so this podcast opened up this whole world of possibilities to me, from having a home birth to things like orgasmic birth. I was like, what? Orgasmic birth? What is that now? To things like hypnobirthing, to things like the Lamar's method, to things like bonding with your baby before baby even arrives. You know, like it was really amazing for me to learn about all these things and also just hear different women's stories and how positive they sounded and how amazing these women sounded after birth, as well as the sad stories like postpartum depression and whatnot. So I decided, you know what, I am going to, I want to do hypnobirthing. And at the time, I think the episode I listened to when I came across hypnobirthing was when I was 36 weeks. And I was like, it's too late for me now. But I did some research on what it was, and I was like, okay, it's just breathing techniques. I'm sure I can breathe. It's not just breathing techniques, by the way. I'll get into that a bit later. But I was like, I'm sure I can do this on my own. I just need to, you know, get in there, breathe. You know, you always hear in the movies or like whatever that you need to breathe the baby down, you know. So I was like, I can do that. How difficult is breathing? But anyway, so basically that is basically how I got to having an empowered birth experience. My birth, and I ended up having, you know, a birth plan. I wrote down my birth plan because I knew what I wanted and I knew who I wanted to be there. I knew what kind of, if things went south, what kind of, not interventions I wanted, but what I wanted to take place. So I mean, I went into my first daughter's birth with the intention to have an unmedicated birth, with the intention to have no epidural, with the intention to have you know, this beautiful positive birth story. Yeah, so basically that's how I decided. I chose the right service provider for me. I made sure that I wrote my birth preferences down, and literally the only thing that went south for me was that I was not as prepared as I thought I was. And I didn't realize that I actually needed to have a little help to have the birth of my dreams, you know. So yeah, and that's how it led to me becoming a hypnobirthing childbirth educator, because I'm like, I want to help other women. If you're pregnant and watching this right now and you haven't heard about hypnobirthing, if you haven't heard about how to best prepare for your birth, please hit me up. I'll put a link in the description so that I can help you as best as I can, because now it's my dream for every woman to have a positive birth, because you will remember your birth forever, or the birth of your children rather, forever. It doesn't matter how long you live or how old you get, unless you get Alzheimer's, which in that case you might forget, but that's a different story. But anyway, so yeah, so with Irenka I had a great birth. Things did go a little bit south, but I still managed to have no epidural. I still managed to have a natural birth like I wanted. I did get stitches. I don't know actually how many stitches I got, but I did get stitches, and because I tore. But I remember feeling, at the end, I remember feeling very proud of myself for being able to overcome that. I remember feeling, what's the right word? I remember feeling very like, yes, I did it, and I can't believe I did it, because wow, that was such an experience. But I really wish I had better prepared, because I somehow just knew in my heart of hearts that this could have gone a bit better than what I expected. But it was still beautiful. I felt really empowered. I felt amazing after birth, in the sense that here's my little person, and all that I went through kind of was mostly according to what I had planned, and I was really glad that I did all the preparation that I did beforehand. Anyway, fast forward to our second daughter. I continued listening. It's funny because throughout even after I gave birth, I was reading stuff on birth. I was reading stuff on, you know, I just wanted to make sure that I learn more, because there's so much to learn when it comes to birth, when it comes to positive birth stories, when it comes to being that transition from being a woman to being a mom, you know what I mean? So there was a lot that I was kind of reading up on, and so there's a lot of knowledge that I've managed to gain over the years. But when it came to my second daughter's birth, I literally, even before I went to see my midwife, I was looking for hypnobirthing classes, because I was like, I don't care how much it costs, I don't care. And by the way, it doesn't cost as much as I expected. It's ridiculously affordable if you think about it. But I was like, I don't care how much it costs. I am doing this thing. I'm going to make sure that I'm prepared. And I did. I found a hypnobirthing instructor close to where we live. Okay, she doesn't live close to us, but it wasn't a whole mission to go there. And we had the 5 classes, so it's a 2.5-hour class for 5 weeks. And I felt so, it was so great to, one, have the knowledge of how my body works. So she taught us the anatomy of the body, how the body works, how the body is designed. God made these bodies amazingly. They're designed to give birth in incredible ways, you know? So how God basically designed our bodies to to give birth, and how you should work with your body, you know, and how our babies' bodies are formed, and like for example, the skull, and how like the skull comes in together like that. The fontanelles especially come in to make sure that the baby can make it down the birth path. So we had like the anatomy that we learned. We basically got tools, if I can put it that way. We got tools in our toolbox, and basically different ways to practice, different things to practice. So for example, the rainbow relaxation. If you read up on hypnobirthing, you might already know this, but rainbow relaxation is so important because it actually teaches you to relax. You know, we live in such a fast-paced society. We're constantly stressed out. It's really difficult for us to relax, you know. Even if you do yoga on a regular basis, you probably know that it's really difficult to get into that place of calm. So basically this was we learned how to relax, get into a deep relaxation. We learned how to I think I'll do another video speaking about what is entailed in a hypnobirthing course. But yes, so fast forward to my daughter's birth. I felt so prepared. If I can tell you, the only thing in the weeks leading up to her birth, I didn't really have peace because I wanted a home birth second time around. I didn't really have peace because so she was born in March. In December, one of the pipes in our area broke, and because of all the rain, and we had no water for quite a while, and that was it was not nice. So that was the first thing that kind of made me, do I really want to have a home birth? And the second thing was just my daughter, my firstborn. I was worried about where we would take her because my parents live a bit far away from us. So I was like, you know, like I didn't have that peace I needed to have for a home birth. And after speaking to a few of the ladies at church, one of them actually told me with her second birth, shout out to Umit if you're watching this, with her second birth, she actually just said, her first birth didn't go the way she wanted, and with her second birth, she said, Lord, I'm just giving it all to you. I surrender to your will. And when she said that, I was like, why haven't I been doing that this whole time? So I got home and I was like, I had a frank conversation with God, and I was like, you know what, Lord, whatever happens, happens. And I want you to give me peace in the sense that please let me see which one will be better for me. So I decided to rather give birth at the birthing center, which I think was a great decision because we were able to leave my daughter here with our nanny, and I had complete peace that she was going to be fine. I had complete peace that I was going to be fine on the way to the birthing center. I had complete peace that I wouldn't have to drive myself there because I don't know, I somehow knew that my husband would be able to be here, you know. Anyway, so come the day of her actual, and then the 2 weeks before Amila, my second daughter, came, our nanny was gone because her mom got sick, so she had to obviously go home. Was I not so anxious? Because I was really worried about what we would do with my first daughter, Erenka, when I'm sure, okay, by now you've probably seen them in my previous videos, but I was worried that we would have to kind of, like, I was worried about the logistics of where Erenka would go, when labor would start, etc. And it's funny because I actually asked God and I was like, Lord, please just let Amila wait until our nanny comes back. And it's funny because literally my husband fetched our nanny from the car train station on Monday, like during the day, like, Monday afternoon. And I actually lost a bit of my mucus plug on Monday morning. So it was quite incredible because I was like, Monday morning it came out a little bit, and I was like, there might be something starting here, I'm not sure. And I had my 39-week appointment on that Monday. So I texted my my midwife, and I mean, like, from that moment I had such peace. I was like, it's fine, our nanny's coming back today. If she comes tonight, it's okay, things will be sorted out, you know. So from the moment the first sign of labor showed up, I was at complete peace. I had the sense of calm. And yeah, I'll put it, I think it's the side that the Amila's birth story will show up if you want to go and watch that. But her birth was amazing. If I tell you, it was incredible. It was beyond what I had even imagined for myself. It was beautiful. I don't know if you guys can hear her. It was beautiful. It was empowering. I felt so vulnerable, but also incredibly supported. I worked with my body. Amila worked with my body. It was amazing. If I tell you, my birth was amazing and you don't believe me, honestly, when I heard other women speaking about hypnobirthing, you know, when you have that seed of doubt where you're like, oh, okay, that's great, I'm really happy for you, but I wonder if that can happen for me. That was me. And then I had my birth, and I'm just like, guys, everyone needs to know how to have an incredible birth, because you deserve it, you know? You deserve to have a positive birth. You deserve to have a birth where when you come back home with your baby, you're like, yes, baby, we did it, you know? So yeah, so fast forward a few months, I started actually looking into how I can become a hypnobirthing practitioner. Initially, I thought, okay, maybe I should become a doula. But I thought, no, Shalom, you don't even like blood. Why would you do that to yourself, you know? So I decided, no, I'm not going to become a doula. I'm going to become a hypnobirthing childbirth educator, because then I'll be able to empower other moms and give them the tools they need to have amazing births. And yeah, now Amila is 9 months old, so literally 9 months later, I have completed, I'm about to complete the course. I'm busy with a few of the reviews and the last part of the course, basically. I'm also busy with my case study, well, if not case study, my practice parents, if I can put it that way. Yeah, so it's incredibly exciting. I am really, really looking forward to helping, like, all you women out there watching this. If you need help having a positive, amazing birth story, please hit me up. I really want to help. I really have a heart for new moms, especially because I want to be, I know how difficult it can be to not have the support you would like to have, to feel stressed out, to feel like you're being bullied into making decisions that you don't want to make. And I really want to help other women have beautiful birth experiences. I want to help you transition into motherhood in a really beautiful way. So yeah, basically, this has been me talking for I don't know how long. I think this video was a bit longer than I expected it to be, but anyway. So that is the story of how I became how I am becoming, or the process to me becoming a hypnobirthing childbirth educator. Yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Please, if you have any questions, write them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer your questions. I'll be happy to you know, just create more videos informing you of anything you need to know. But yeah, that's basically my story. I will share a little bit more detail into the different parts of my story in different videos. But otherwise, have a wonderful day, guys, and a great week. Bye.